Hey everybody, Sinus here. So I have just achieved a new world record of 5 minutes 53 seconds in Monster Train, and it's using a completely different strategy to the Inferno strategy I'd used to achieve my previous records. So rather than doing live commentary of just me mumbling, I thought I'd spend some time to fully elucidate this particular strategy. So this is what I'd call the Sketches Shadow Siege strategy. It was initially thought out by Chance Eluded, who has a number of speedruns on YouTube, and then amended on by myself and by Ratvar in the Monster Train Discord. So I'm resetting to get Sketches of Salvation as my first artifact, and when that happens, the run can begin. I grab my champion, Monstrous Penumbra. He becomes irrelevant very quickly, but for the first part of the run, he is very important. He helps keep the boss kills in the first two fights very fast. That's really his only purpose in the run. Now, I'm looking for a Shadow Siege, so I take the unit draft trial, and I get a Shadow Siege. And now the run's off to the races. All I really need to do from here is get a certain series of upgrades. Everything else can be skipped. I'm looking for Quick, and I'm looking for Multi-Strike. But I don't actually have enough money to buy either of them there, so that entire merchant was a mistake. There's plenty of time that can be achieved in the rest of this run, as you will be able to see at fairly obvious points in the run, really. My mistakes are not subtle. Like that rubble morsel, completely unnecessary. But Monstrous Penumbra cleans up the first two fights. Shadow Siege doesn't get much more than a single swing at this boss here. And then, again, I'm hunting for Quick and Multi-Strike. I'm going to fast skip by mashing the skip button before the cards even appear. Every single card in the run. Nothing else matters. So I'm looking for Quick, and I find it. And that means Shadow Siege will attack before anything else in the combat gets to go. And because Shadow Siege will be placed on the middle floor, if a flying boss spawns there, Shadow Siege will get a preemptive strike against it. I'm throwing out Penumbra again to just clear stuff out, slightly speeding up the run. And now here's this bomb. I'm going to torch it out so that Shadow Siege can get 200 damage onto Daedalus. And now if I had some way of dealing a bit more damage to Daedalus, you can see he's at 22 health here. This run would probably be about 15 to 30 seconds faster. So that would be another place to get time save, is if I had Multi-Strike already. But as you can, or I guess as you're about to see, I'll get it shortly. The major enhancements do not matter in the slightest. I chose Energy because that's my muscle memory from my previous speedruns. Now I'm going to duplicate the Shadow Siege. Ideally, I would have already had Multi-Strike here, because obviously that makes them twice as effective. But if I can upgrade it with Multi-Strike in the next ring, which is what I do, I'll still be fine. So here's the fight. Here's how the rest of the run is going to look. I shouldn't place Penumbra here, but what I should do is torch out those 6-2 enemies in the back line. Because I only have one Shadow Siege out, if I leave those alive, they'll start attacking my train stewards, and that's both slow and bad, in case the Shadow Siege starts taking damage. But this fight is what most of the rest of the run will look like. Now in this next ring, I'm about to get Multi-Strike, and here's where the run really opens up, because I have an immense amount of damage on my Shadow Sieges. I'm purging units here so that the 4 units from Sketches of Salvation, which spawns 4 units on the middle floor, will always reliably include all of my Shadow Sieges, and I will continue to do that throughout the run. So basically what you need for the strategy is Sketches of Salvation, Monstrous Penumbra, and 2 Shadow Sieges or more with Multi-Strike and Quick as fast as possible. Other than that, you continually press N-turn, as you can see here. That's really all there is to it. And Sower of Sorrows, that particular boss, dies on turn 1. You'll sense a theme here. So again, I don't need a thing, and I skip every single reward, which speeds up the run by probably about 40 seconds total, avoidance of every superfluous reward, and that means the first merchant I went to was a waste of a couple seconds. Now if I had another Shadow Siege, or if everybody had multi-strike, I could again kill Fel just a little faster here, but as it is, it's completely fast enough. There's plenty of time save left for future runs, as you can probably tell. This run is far from optimized yet. It was simply the first one I got with Sketches and Shadow Siege, and the strategy is so fast that it beat out my highly optimized Inferno strat 626. I'm a little bitter about that, but I at least tried to test it, and I kind of expected something like this would happen. Now here I get Purifiers, and that's the fight with a bunch of Penances. Slows me down about 5 seconds in total, having to play out those self-mutilations, maybe a little less. But don't let that distract you from the fact that Nephil is dead. Yeah. These things are that strong. And I'm going to dupe the Shadow Siege one final time. I should not have removed this Shadow Siege here. I thought I had 4 multi-strikers, but I was wrong. I should have removed 2 Train Stewards, so I had even more damage on the first turn, but as you're about to see, that will not matter at all. 3, 2, 1, dead. The strategy is simple, accessible, and also very RNG dependent. But dang is it fast. That's a world record of 5:53, which saves over 30 seconds off my optimized Inferno world record on, I think, my first run getting the requisite components together. That's how fast the strategy is. So hopefully you'll see soon from me more Shadow Siege runs that are even faster than this. But for now, that concludes this video. If you enjoyed, please do like and subscribe. If you didn't enjoy, please do comment with some constructive feedback. I always love to improve. And have a good one.